But no, the thing is, you so-called represented this. So that means you one of them, clown. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, bro, that's some real. I first I thought it was like some skit. And when I seen it, I was like, yo, this dude is bugging. Penetrate.
All right, back in the house is one of my closest brothers, a fan favorite, Mr. Cano Almighty.
What's good, Panda? What's going on, baby?
Hey, man, I see you on vacation in Spain, living large, you know what I mean? But a lot going on. You had to come and tap in.
Man, listen, I came out here to do some family things and look at some property situations I got going on. But yeah, no, we had to tap in. You know, we had to tune in on what's going on. You know what I mean?
All right, so before we get into the whole Hocus and Trust Mula situation, right? What was your personal experience with Trust as far, like, did you know him? You heard of him?
Don't know him, never heard of him. Nah, I don't.
So you never heard of him being a Brooklyn King or anything like that?
I don't know who he is, bro. I'll be honest with you. I know some of the people he was around, you know what I'm saying? But I never knew him. I don't know him. Never know. I never dealt with him. Don't know him. You know?
But you can confirm that he was a king, though, from Brooklyn.
Yeah, at what point, yeah, he was. Supposedly he was, from what brothers tell me.
Okay. So what was your reaction when you started seeing him around a lot?
I mean, I didn't really want to tune into it. You know, I ain't really had nothing to say about it. You know, even when I was asked about it, I ain't really have nothing to say about it. Because if he's somebody trying to do positive and do something, you know, for themselves in life, you know, who am I or anybody to try to knock a dude down? You know what I'm saying? Even though you heard rumors or you heard situations, you let the man be. You know, he's trying to change his life. But, you know, it was, you know, mental health is a serious thing that, you know, people should really be addressing, because that's the key issue is mental health, you know?
Because, like, I remember when the whole Drop My Flag challenge was going on in the beginning and I asked you about Hocus, we specifically said, like, you told me, like, I don't want to talk about him, though. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you try to stay away from it.
Because we don't do that. I'm going to be honest.
Right.
Right. I don't knock what Hocus is doing, but that's for them. For us, we don't do that. You understand what I'm saying? We getting points in life like we retire. If you really want to leave, you sign your gates and you could be out. You don't have to do any challenge to do what you're going to do. Ain't nobody forcing you to be here. You know, understand what I'm saying? So that's why I didn't want to get involved in that, because that really wasn't something that pertained to us. You understand what I'm saying? Like, you don't want to be a king, you sign your golden gates and you kick rocks. That's it. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to wait for a challenge or nothing, or you retire. You know what I'm saying? There's no reason for you to do that. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, that's something he wanted to do or claimed to do. That's what he did. You know what I'm saying? But that's got nothing to do with the reality, what it is. You know what I'm saying?
So in your eyes, the whole challenge thing and him participating in it was because this was a viral thing that was going on, and this was like for him to garner some attention, right?
Of course, this was an opportunity for him to, you know, take advantage of the situation, the challenge and all that, to push his message across, which, like I said, you know what I'm saying, if you preaching a positive message and you really about what you're doing, that's cool. But, you know, it seems like he got like bipolar issues. He's very emotional from what, you know what I'm saying, from what I'm seeing, because and one thing he's bigging certain people up, the next minute he's going at the same people. Like he got very like he's like almost on the spectrum, like if he got autism or something, you know what I'm saying? Like is like, yo, bro, that dude be like bipolar. You know what I'm saying? Like one minute you preaching positive stuff and then you beating up a crackhead online, or you doing something negative. Like, yo, bro, you want to do something positive? You teach people how to be positive. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, I tell my brothers every day, listen, I do everything I do is legit. Me and my team, that's all we do is we try to strive and do things, you know what I'm saying, to better ourselves. And if we can help people in the same time, you do. But you preaching one thing and then you're doing another thing. You know, you coming on here. How's somebody supposed to trust you if a crew that you've been with since you was the peewee says he was a king since he was a peewee, and then you over here ridiculing certain individuals that is not the majority of the nation, is not what the nation portrays as being itchy and scratchy? Like, come on, bro. That's corny, bro. That's some real corny, you know what I'm saying? Because you're talking about all Latin Kings. But man, I never did that in my life. None of my team, none of my bros in Long Island, you know what I'm saying, that we've been dealing with, nobody out here. And even half the squad I was dealing with in the Bronx and Manhattan, Brooklyn, Queens, none of them was doing that. So I don't know where you get this, all these, bro, it's like, it's crazy, you know what I'm saying? It's just bugged out, you know what I'm saying?
You didn't want to talk about it, but then like it's almost like to a point now where you have to address it because the video blew up of
It's
him
getting
making fun of
disrespectful.
right. The video of him making fun of Latin Kings being dope fiends, playing into that whole stereotype. Then he doubled down with a video responding to the backlash, saying that, you know, the Latin King dudes that are mad are nobody in New York. I've seen other interviews where he's pushed that Latin King dope fiend narrative as well, like in the past, you know. So he said the ones that are tough are obsolete. They don't care about what's going on. They don't like him disrespecting the nation, but he said the nation is bandwagoning Hocus, and he accused Hocus of being racist and not caring about Latinos and stuff. So it's like it's become like a whole different kind of monster now.
I mean, let's keep it real. If you really want to look at the history of where Hocus comes from, when he first came in and Bang Bang Boogie, who was he dealing with?
Latin Kings.
Who was he dealing with? Latin Kings. And now we're talking 15, 20 years ago when me, Porilla, Long Island, the Bronx, Manhattan, Queens Brothers, we was all going to the Bronx to the projects over there and dealing with Bang Bang Boogie. You know what I'm saying? We never had no smoke with the Blazers or nothing like that. So, you know, it was always love. And to this day, you know what I'm saying? We just didn't chime in on what's going on. You know what I'm saying? But I just that's the whole narrative I don't understand. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, you know, we've been dealing with Hulk and us for years to break that racial barrier, to break all these gang ties and everything, and show people it's deeper than that. You know what I'm saying? Besides music, we've been dealing with Hulk before his indictment. Before that, when Bang Bang Boogie was on fire with him, S1, rest in peace, PO. You know, with the whole crew, bro. You know what I'm saying? So it just comes out of nowhere that all of a sudden, just because you don't see us together, we don't be online on each other's stuff, or we don't be, it doesn't mean that people still don't got love for each other, bro. That shit don't even make sense. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, like I said, bro, I got nothing but love for Hope.
I was saying that, what do you think about him saying that Hocus is racist because he repeated some line about I'm gonna kill him with Spanish jokes or whatever, and he's saying, you know, he's pushing that as the reason.
But how does it start off? Right off the rip. Well, right off the rip, how does it start off? I'm gonna kill him with Spanish jokes. It's a joke. Yeah, first of all, he had no business getting involved in that whole situation. You know what I'm saying? That's another whole issue that, you know what I'm saying, that I love the hip hop battle back and forth between upstate and the city and all that. I love that. But at the end of the day, that we all New York. You know what I'm saying? We all represent New York. So once it starts getting out of hand and going in, you know what I'm saying? I'm not with all that. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But you shouldn't have dissed the dude. The dude came back at you. You know what I'm saying? All of a sudden he's racist, but you've been dealing with him all this time. Like, bro, like it's like you're using certain things to try to, you know what I'm saying? I just don't understand the whole. Week ago, y'all was good. He wasn't racist. You was good with your man. All of a sudden now he's racist because you repeated the Spanish line. Oh, come on, bro. That's corny, bro. I'm not even feeding into that. You know what I'm saying?
He said that Latin Kings of today don't care about Latinos. They dick ride the homies and are scared of the Bloods. He said they quick to cut another king, but won't go against the Bloods.
We really gonna comment on something like that, bro? That shit is so corny, bro. Like at the end of the day, bro, you know, you gotta look at it like this, bro. You think I got time, or any of the old timers, or any of the bros got time to be entertaining nonsense? You understand what I'm saying? That shit is, a lot of that shit is nonsense. But now we talking about D Rider. Somebody just had a helmet and a saddle on while he was riding a whole crew of niggas. So maybe he's talking about himself. Because I always looked at them as family. They was always cool with me. We never It was never no dividing with anybody. They ain't divide us. We ain't divide them. We went up there. They showed us love. We went into they came to our hood. We showed them love. We was in the studio. It was always love. And when shit was gonna pop off, they always had our back. So you know what I'm saying? I can't even feed into that. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I think a lot of this is just internet propaganda, trying to get clickbait. You know what I'm saying? Trying to get people to get on the comments to sway. You know what I'm saying? I think he made a real big mistake when he started just going at everybody. Should have dealt with his situation the way it was. You know what I'm saying? But he wanted to involve other people. So now certain people got to speak up because I know I ain't no dolphin. I know all the bros that I be around ain't no dolphins. I know a lot of the brothers in the whole New York ain't feeling that. We're not even gonna talk about other states. But bro, you out of pocket. You know what I'm saying? That's just some real out of pocket. You know what I'm saying? On the low, all of us was supporting him like, yo, that's why nobody was hating. Nobody was entertaining it. Everybody's like, all right, yo, cool. Then he changed his life. It is what it is. He gonna do what he gotta do. So a lot of people was in the background supporting. Nobody was trying to really hate on the kid, bro. You know what I'm saying? But all of a sudden, it seems like the more people fell back from even answering it, he feels more comfortable being able to talk greasy. You know what I'm saying? Like, that shit is crazy, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it don't even make sense. You know what I'm saying? Half the shit that he's saying. Because you talking about, my man, let's talk about how many passport stamps you got. Let's talk about you got property. Let's talk about if you making money on your own, legal money. We're not talking about block money because none of us do that shit no more. You know what I'm saying? There ain't no life in the streets. That's what you're supposed to be teaching your youth. You know what I'm saying? Say something positive to you. So everything you're doing online right now, that's teaching the youth to be positive. We don't bite our brothers in the back out here and talk behind people's backs and put people against each other and all this craziness that he's doing. Bro, that's why I'm telling you, mental health. You could tell he's crashing out because he's got mental health issues. You know what I'm saying? That's the reality of this. You know what I'm saying? It's just you know, and like you look at him, he on the spectrum. You know what I'm saying? Dude's not all there, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure when he was going to the island and all that, he's probably in the MO houses. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, listen, bro, I'm not really gonna spend too much time on here. So one hit a quitter, you know, because I don't promote none of that stuff. But you're not gonna be here just assassinating people's characters and thinking it's cool and nobody gonna say nothing. You know what I'm saying? Because sooner or later, it might, you know, I'm on some chill. My crew's on some chill. We about getting money, traveling. You already see where we at, investing, doing what we do. You know what I'm saying? Trying to do positive things and really help the youth. You know what I'm saying? See that there's a change from gang banging and doing all that stuff that people be doing out there. Nah, bro. You could have made a mistake when you was young, you know what I'm saying? And you grow up, you see the mistakes you made, and you move on with life and you try to be a productive member of society. But all this nonsense that this dude is doing, it seems like it's a cry for attention. You know what I'm saying? It really seems like it's a cry for attention. You know what I'm saying? That's at the end of the day what I could see is like, I don't know, maybe he's looking for something to happen to him like 6ix9ine or something so he could go more viral. I don't know. This shit is just, it's crazy, especially being in Florida. Bro, that shit is like New York in the 90s right now out there.
That's what I was gonna ask you because like it was kind of crazy. Like, what was your reaction when you first saw the video of him by the car acting like a dolphin and mocking Latin kings? Because like, if you got a problem with just a few people or something like that, keep it about the few people. But to just from a smart perspective, it's not smart, I would think, to disrespect an entire nation that you once belonged to and you in an area that I'm sure they dominate.
But no, the thing is, you so-called represented this. So that means you one of them, clown. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, bro, that's some real. I first I thought it was like some skit. And when I seen it, I was like, yo, this dude is bugging. I was like, yo, he must have hit some K2 or something. And because he looking for something. Like, I'm be honest with you, it's like the man is like being placed there by like the government or something to try to press the button and amp somebody up to really go at him and hurt him or something because you asking for that because that's going to be anybody who want to get stripes. It might not even be a bro. That shit might just be family members. It might be a homie. It might be a crib. It might be whoever. They're like, oh, ain't that? Bro, let's get some. And dude, like, he really wilding out. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really don't know. He might be on a suicidal mission. Who knows? That's why I said mental health. Mental health, bro. That brother, I think, really needs, it's a cry for help. I really think this is a cry for help. That he needs somebody to reach out and get him in, hug or something, bro. Like for real, for real. Because why would you even do that? You know what I'm saying? And then the thing is that he backpedaled. He backpedaled on it. He pulled the video down. He backpedaled. Then he came back and tried to say, no, it wasn't about. Come on, bro. And you talking about people like that been dealing with Hocus. Bro, I've been dealing with Hocus before I even knew about you, bro. Nobody even know about you, bro. You got your 15 minutes of fame. Cool, bro. You had a great opportunity, bro, to really make a difference in what you was doing, and you just blew it up on smoke. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna be the greatest who never been. You know what I'm saying?
You know, I never knew who he was, but I don't have a problem with him, right? I always been cool with Hocus, always been cool with S1, but
Of course.
just just looking at what is going on online, I see what you're saying about the back and forth, because I saw my bro China Mac even commented on his post and said, you know, look, take it from somebody that's been there before. Don't confuse views as good attention. Like, just because you getting views off of this, it doesn't mean it's a good thing. Like, this doesn't lead to anywhere good when you're being this controversial, disrespectful and stuff. And he was giving him good advice, you know, and I respect my bro China Mac for doing that. And the way that he responded to China Mac was all like, you right. But then later on, all of a sudden you see him drop another video disrespecting the nation. He went live when he was taking the plane back to New York, and he was all like, yo, I'm gonna be at LaGuardia in a few hours, all you kings pull up and stuff like that. Like, so it is what you're kind of saying. It's like you asking for an issue. Like, do you want this recorded? You want it like to go viral so that you can say, yo, you see it, that I got jumped, or like, I don't know, but it's just not something that's good that's gonna come from it.
Exactly. Like, I'm pretty sure he see this, you know, he gonna respond, come on with, bro, I don't got time for that, bro. I'm just saying, on the reality of what it is, bro, you attacking something you've been a part of all these years, right? Supposedly he's been a part of this all these years. I personally don't know the man. Like I said, I don't got nothing personal against him, but this shit that you doing, ain't no reason for it. Like, you give me a reason for it. You know what I'm saying? And then he talking about niggas is scared of the homies and this and that. Bro, we cool with all of them. We don't got issues with them. That's the difference. Like, some people don't know how to let go of that mentality. You know what I'm saying? That weirdo mentality that just because this dude's flying this or flying that. But I'm a grown ass man. I don't care what color you fly. You treat me with respect, I'm gonna treat you with respect. You show me love, I'm gonna show you love. That is just the way real people real recognize real. And if you here and you trying to make a difference for the youth, come on, bro. Is that what you teaching them to crash out? But you got one of the biggest DJs in New York playing your record. You know what I'm saying? Me personally, is not something that I really I didn't really like. You know what I'm saying? But that's his thing. You know what I'm saying? Take advantage of the moment. You know what I'm saying? Take advantage of the platform. Get somewhere bigger. Keep motivated. Keep getting bigger. Keep getting bigger. Get some funding for some programs. Really take your program somewhere else. But instead of doing that, it's like you're using it as a gimmick. You know what I'm saying? There's no substance to what he's saying. Everything seems like a gimmick. You know what I'm saying?
So when I first saw that Hocus and Snook and Trust was all collaborating on all these posts together, I found it really interesting, right? But for some reason, a part of me was like thinking like, I don't know, something about this seemed off. Like, I don't think that this is gonna last a long time. Like, it's almost like I kind of like felt like, so, you know, it just don't seem right. And I don't know, I couldn't put my finger on it. And then like, lo
But
and
the
behold,
chemistry,
this happens. You know what I'm saying? So what was your reaction when you saw they started to beef over what was going on? Because even before Hocus came out, because like there was like little videos here and there, like, oh, put an address on it, like, oh, he right, he didn't say a name. And then like it was like a lot of little back and forth pulling it back. Then next thing you know, it just fully exploded.
again, like I'm telling you, it has to do with mental health, bro. It's mental health, bro. It's paranoia. It's different things that he got going on in his life. Because let's say Hocus does a video. Hocus might be talking about somebody different, Why would you take it like he's talking about you when that's your man? That's like if one of my mans is talking about something, well, that got nothing to do with me, but he automatically, everybody that makes a video or makes something, he takes it like they talking about him. Like he probably really feeling himself. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I really don't know, bro. Like, I can't, I just see a lot of, like I said, again, I keep going back to it. I just see a lot of different things that I feel that this man has mental health issues, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because if you got all these different individuals supporting you, pushing you to a platform, putting you in rooms with certain artists, putting you around Khaled, putting you around Joe, putting you around different artists that's in a position that may help you to boost your career, why would you go after those same people that's putting you in that platform to move in that direction? It just doesn't make sense. It's like sometimes people self-sabotage themselves um, because they feel they're bigger than the program. That's the problem. That a lot of people think they're bigger than the program. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, yo, I just, like I said, it's mind boggling. You know what I'm saying? Because you start looking at it and it's like, yo, bro, this dude is like, there's something wrong with him. You know what I'm saying? There's something wrong with him. Like literally, there's something wrong with him. I could tell you, even through the interviews and everything, like he comes left field with certain things, and he's one of those dudes he can't sit still. He's like I said, he's got like artistic tendencies. You know what I'm saying? And that is just the reality of it. And I've had this conversation before. I just never made it public. You know what I'm saying? And I've had brothers hit me up about him and stories about him. But like unless I know for a fact certain things, I'm not gonna jump up here and assassinate nobody's character, so I keep it to myself. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not gonna just stay quiet while you try to say that everybody Dolphin is my man. Do I look like I itchy and scratch, homeboy? Did you look, bro? Like, do you see where I'm at, bro? Like, come on, bro. Like, this is where I'm at, bro. This is what we doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, bro. Come on, bro. Like, let's be realistic, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, bro. Just because somebody not in every cipher, not doing everything, bro, I'm already past that. I'm at my level. It doesn't take away from my kingism. You know what I'm saying? Because I always lived that. But you portraying, like, I ain't on no corner. I ain't going to bang. I ain't going to ride on nobody. You disrespect, then you're going to see what it is. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody Mr. Tough. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, bro. Like, that shit is corny, bro. That shit is corny. Then you shouting certain people's names out. Like, like, bro, certain people, you wouldn't even be around certain people conducting yourself in that manner. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, bro. Let's just keep it 100. Like they be saying, let's keep it 100.
So what is your prediction now that what is going to happen? Because, he's been like TS affiliated, KAR affiliated and everything, right? They said that Pistol Pete going to be his manager or already is his manager, but Hocus is cool with these people too. Hocus is the one that pretty much lined it up for him, right? So do you think that they gonna continue rocking with him because he got a hot record, or you think that they gonna see this and be like turned off by the situation that this guy is, I don't know, maybe unstable?
I mean, you gotta look at it. You gotta look at it like this. People that crew jump from crew to crew to crew, it ain't the crews that there's something wrong with. It's the individual. You understand what I'm saying? Like, if you keep crew hopping, you don't show loyalty to anyone. So if you don't show loyalty to anyone, how can anyone trust you? You understand what I'm saying? If you in closed rooms, every time there's a different individual there and you eating his flesh behind his back, oh, he said this, or he did this, or he did that, or blah, 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 and you going in every room you go into, you talk, bro, nobody gonna trust him, bro. He gonna end up closing that door on himself. Like I say, he gonna be the fastest, who could have been that never was. You know what I'm saying?
But you see people like Frankie Cutlass defending him in the comments. And then I saw Hocus say that Frankie, like,
because right, but look at all right, we're gonna talk about that. Frankie Cutlass comes from where we all came from. So that's probably one of the reasons that he even entertained helping him. You understand what I'm saying? Because he believed what he believed at one point. So he said, all right, this man's trying to change his life. Like Frankie changed his life. He gave his life to Jesus Christ, whatever. He became born again Christian, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So he changed his life. So he's seen another individual that's, preaching a positive thing for the youth. So What would you do in that situation? You try to give the next Latino, the next someone that came from where you came from, a shot and help them out. You understand what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure he ain't know all this was going on. You know what I'm saying? But he's putting himself in a position also to defend him, and he shouldn't even be getting involved in it. He should be minding his business, because at the end of the day, he knows what time it is. You know what I'm saying?
And that's what Hocus was saying to him, was that, like, Frankie, behind the scenes, Trust was talking shit about you too. The only reason why he's like being nice to you is because he wants you to clear the record because of the Puerto Rico sample.
Hold up. So he was talking shit about Frankie. Frankie defended him. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, bro, this shit is so crazy. This is like what we say in Spanish, arroz con culo, bro. This shit is some real soap opera shit, bro. Like, come on, bro. This dude, like I said, bro, does anybody normal do things like that? You got a legend in the game spinning your record. You got another legend in the game that remade the beat, gave you a sample and everything. And come on, bro. Like it just doesn't make sense, bro. It's like I said, to me personally, the record wasn't, it wasn't like my cup of tea. But I saw the support and I saw what could be done with something. Doesn't have to be. It just has to be the machine that gets behind you and starts pushing and helping you get to a platform. And you got to respect a lot of those individuals took time out of their day to actually help an individual. Why? Because of the message. You got to understand the message that he comes with first. Say something positive to you, the youth. Who's going to turn someone down? Even the cops don't know what to say to him when he comes. Yeah, you'll get a couple that's assholes or whatever, but majority of them always give a positive message. So obviously, if you're in a position or have a platform in this game that you could help somebody that's actually portraying that you're going to do that, you're going to actually try to help them. You know what I'm saying? That's why none of us interfered or said anything bad about the dude. Like I said, a lot of people was behind the scenes actually rooting for the dude until he did this fucking fuckery. You know what I'm saying? That now it gets to the point like, yo, bro, like for real? That's how you feel, bro? You know what I'm saying? Okay, cool, no problem. So now you're going to see how many doors close on him. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, bro, you're being a hypocrite. You know what I'm saying?
Before the haters in the comments start going off, right? Let's make sure that people know that you're a real hip hop head, engineer, producer. You've done a lot of work in the business, right? So, like, you know what you're talking about. I think the song is a hit. Do you think the song is a hit, even if it's not your cup of tea?
I mean, there's certain parts of the song that's kind of catchy, but I don't see it, bro. I personally don't see it. I
I
personally
think
don't
the
see it.
biggest mistake he made was not keeping the same flow and cadence of the first verse, because the first verse is what really
He switched up.
made the song what it is, right?
He
Now the
switched up.
chorus, yeah, I can see it being catchy, but it's not as catchy as the first verse. But when he went into the second verse, it went everywhere. Like, I know the outro, he repeats like the first verse, but the beat has switched up so much already. If he had kept that same flow and cadence for the second verse, I feel like the song would have been an even bigger hit, bro.
The song would have been much better. It would have been better. It would have been better. Song would have been better. It definitely would have been better. It definitely, because it seems like he got lost on the second verse. It seemed like he was getting lost. He definitely wasn't following the beat pattern the way he was supposed to. Because even when they remade the beat, you could see the beat changes up to keep up with him. It's not like he's keeping up with the beat. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, listen, I'm not a hater. Like I said, I'm not a hater, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, when it comes to me, I still listen to old school hip hop. You know what I'm saying? So I'll be in the car and I throw on old school stuff. So I'm on a different thing. You know what I'm saying? The only new ones that I'll be listening to, you know what I'm saying, is like IBL, Ace, and a couple of new bros and new guys that actually bring me into their stories and bring me into their songs and make me feel what the pain and the things that they say in their songs. You know what I'm saying? And you believe it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna judge. Like I said, I'm not gonna judge it. Like I said, he got to go run with that song. You know what I mean? You can't hate. That's why I'm not a hater. I just said it's not my cup of tea. You know what I mean? To me.
Right.
But
well, and that's another situation that you just brought up with Ace, because now he going back and forth with Ace, because Ace had put out that song "Get Him the Fuck Out of Here." He put on a post you know, and I guess I don't know if he was sending a subliminal shot towards, you know, Trust or not, but Trust had responded and said that, you know, nobody playing that
Nah.
shit, funk ain't spinning it and stuff. So it's just, look, shout out to Ace, man. I know Ace is a real one.
Let me tell you something. You think Ace would take time out of his day to even address him? Ace don't know him. If I don't know him and I'm from New York, you think Ace is gonna take time out of his day to throw a shot at him when he don't even know him? Come on, but again, it's mental health. It's mental health issues. You think the whole world revolves around what he's doing? You ever seen people on Instagram and on Facebook and all that put one of those very general comments that'll be like, whatever, yo, if the shoe fit, wear it.
Right.
All of a sudden, everybody wants to wear that shit. Oh, you was talking about me. I didn't wash my socks yesterday, or I didn't do. You know what I'm saying? He's one of those, like, bro. He thinks that everybody's talking about him, bro. And a lot of people in the backgrounds, like I said, people was supporting the movement because, again, you doing something. Your message is an official message. You know, something positive for the youth. It is what it is.
The interesting thing was that he was bigging up Ace prior to that, though.
Because he was probably trying to get a feature or something. Who knows? Who knows, bro? Like, who knows, bro? Like, there's so much stuff in the background. Maybe he hit him. I don't know. I'm not even gonna assume anything. But it's like that's what
Right.
I'm saying. Like, one day you like this, the next day you like that. You wake up, it's like he wakes up on the wrong side of the bed and automatically looks at himself in the mirror and hates himself, bro. It's like I don't really understand that. You know what I'm saying? You know, but I've also seen different videos that he's done. Yo, I ain't no snitch, but you come to this house, you know, I'm just letting you know there's cameras and there's ring cam and that shit, you know, they recording anything. Like, come on, bro. Like, you know, there's so much different shit. Like, yo, bro, like I really don't know, bro. Like, I don't deal with people like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm gonna be real with you, bro. Like, I'm gonna be real 100%. Bro, I've been dealing with Hulk, what, over 15 years? And even with people that he had issues with, he had certain people with that was part of our main circle that we all dealt with. He never came behind the scenes and talk shit about that individual to one of us or something. It is what it is. He'd be like, nah, you know, whatever. He would downplay it or keep it to himself. So that's why it's hard for me to look at Hulk like that, you know what I'm saying? Or even S1, because they got something to say, they say directly to your face. They're not the type of dudes to go and talk shit behind your back and hide and, you know, yo, let me put you on, or let me, you know what I'm saying? It's just not in their caliber, you know what I'm saying, of what they do, you know what I mean? And I've known them from when they was in the streets to now when they changed their lives. So, you know what I'm saying? We all changed.
Right.
But I've never seen them do that. You understand what I'm saying? Like, you gotta give certain people their flowers. Like, to me, them dudes has always been stand up. You know what I'm saying? That's why none of us jumped on from the beginning, but like, yo, why you supporting somebody that was down with us and nah, nobody said nothing. Everybody was like, boom. Nobody said a word. You know what I'm saying? Everybody, like I said, that's what he wants to do in his life. Cool. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, again, message was positive. It was one of the dopest messages.
Did you know about the allegations of him being a snitch, though?
Like I said, I'm not gonna jump on something that I've never seen paperwork.
But you saw
I've
him
never
post up the
seen it.
paperwork, right? He posted up his paperwork and
Nah,
he took it down?
I mm, nah, I seen some paperwork supposedly that people were saying that he signed into PC and Attica over some shit, and he was contradicting the statement by posting up his paperwork saying it said IPC
Right. He said
instead of PC.
involuntary and that people can't
Right.
read and stuff like that.
Right, that's what I saw. As far as him being a rat and all this extra shit, bro, I'm not gonna see. I'm not built from that type of caliber to jump on here and be like, yeah, I heard this, I heard that. Nah, bro, I'm not gonna speak about none of that because I don't know none of that. I never seen paperwork. Everybody could speak out their ass. I never seen it. I'm not gonna go at it. I'm just addressing the real fact that he disrespected, and from my observation, the problems that he has. Like I said, it looked like it's a cry for help. To be honest with you, I think it's a cry for help, looking for clickbait or looking for something for the internet to go crazy. Oh, he talking shit about the bros, and because at the end of the day, let's be honest, The algorithm is based on comments, interaction with different videos. So now, if you do some wild shit like that, how is people going to be engaged?
Right.
The engagement is going to be crazy. The engagement is going to be crazy. And once the engagement gets crazy, the algorithm gets crazy. So now anything that he posts up within that algorithm, what happens? It goes viral. It goes viral. It goes viral. So, bro, this is all like a publicity stunt type thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's certain things he wouldn't say standing toe to toe or being around certain dudes in the room. You understand what I'm saying? You're just not gonna do that. You're not gonna talk about like that about S1 in his face. You know what I'm saying? You're just not gonna do it, bro. Or about Hulk or certain dudes. Like, I don't know Snook, so I can't really talk about Snook. You know what I'm saying? But you know what's funny? That every homie and everybody that I've talked about, they say that he's a solid dude. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, who am I to hate on somebody? You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't hate on people. It is what it is. You know what I mean? You got all type of individuals in different cars. You know what I mean? But
The
he
thing that
just
just worries me though about situations like this is that a lot of people can lose their freedom or their life over somebody crashing out like this, and I just really hope that that does not happen, man. You know?
But that's exactly what I was telling you. It seems like almost like he was put into a situation to create this, to make certain individuals lose their freedom, or for him to even lose his freedom. You understand what I'm saying? Let's be real, bro. This could go either way. Like, this isn't the first time that people looking for viral moments have lost their lives behind stupidity. You know, there was that blogger from California. What was his name? Savage. Remember the dude that had all the tattoo stuff that kept getting out all the California gangs out there, that he was part of a clique, and then he dropped out and became 25. I forgot the dude's name. Savage something. I forgot his name. One of them dudes came up on him as soon as he came out the tattoo parlor and pushed his button, and that was it. You understand what I'm saying? So certain people look for viral moments, my dude, with the wrong situation, because there's a lot of crash outs out there. Like I said, it might not even be a bro. It could be any individual. Like, oh, you think you tough? Toma. Come on, bro. We here to try to honestly to really live our lives and enjoy our life, bro. Isn't that beautiful over here, bro? Isn't that a beautiful sight, bro?
It is, man.
Why wouldn't you want to enjoy something like that? But why wouldn't you want to enjoy something like that instead of, you know, promoting negativity, bro? Like, come on, bro. Like, you saying all Latin Kings, you putting everybody in the basket. My man, I never did that in my life. I don't even know what the feeling of that is, bro. Like, nobody in my crew deal with that. None of the dudes I be around. Bros in Queens, bros in the Bronx, even the bros in Brooklyn. Yeah, in Brooklyn, there was a couple of older dudes, but like I said, there's everything and everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Everybody got everything. But for you to do a generalization like that about the whole entire bus, bro, you bugging, bro. You bugging. You bugging. You bugging. You know what I mean?
I think that even if you're not religious, let's just say, right, you've been blessed with an opportunity. You got the biggest DJ arguably in New York spinning your record, your name is blowing up and stuff like that. Doesn't this look much better than what you were dealing with when you did 16 years or other stuff that you dealt with in life, right? Why not enjoy those blessings? Like what you're doing right now is
Exactly.
almost like it's like slapping God for blessing you. You know what I mean? Like for changing your life and rewarding you and everything. And it's just like, damn, bro, like it's just really unfortunate. You know what I mean? So my last question for you regarding this situation, let them know a positive message for the Mula.
Positive message for the Mula. I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. I no, and I'm gonna be dead serious. I really feel that he needs to really find himself. Honestly, I'm not even talking no shit. I'm not even. I really believe that it's mental health issues, bro. I really believe it, bro. I'm telling you, I've seen things like this in the past with people. I really
But not
believe that he
everybody's
needs
going
to
to
really
be
like.
as understanding as you are about
Nah,
mental
but it's not
health.
even about I'm being understanding. I'm not being understanding. Hold up. I'm not excusing behavior either. I'm just categorizing what I'm seeing. You know what I'm saying? The disrespect is not excusable because at the end of the day, every check you write, somebody gonna come collect that check. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, somebody's gonna collect that check. Like I say, I don't promote none of that, bro. But when you're going at so many different people, and I'm not talking about just the nation, he's going at so many different individuals that it's gonna get to a point that nobody's gonna know where it's coming from, because it's like, bro, take it easy, bro. Take it easy, bro. You know what I'm saying? Instead of preaching something positive to you, I'm gonna preach something positive to you. Get yourself together, bro. You have a beautiful opportunity right now that you might have just crashed out. You had a legendary producer on your side, because everybody talks shit about Frankie Cutlass, but bro, people don't give that man his flowers. Even though, like, I have my little whatever about him, I have nothing personal as a Latino. Bro, that dude has participated in some of the biggest records and some of the biggest things in history. So you got to give that man his flowers. Flex, I mean, I'm gonna keep it real. He's one of the biggest DJs. I just don't like how he fucks up the new songs and talks all over all the songs all the time. But he is a legendary DJ, and nobody can take that from him. So for him to spin your record and push push it to that, and you just didn't take advantage of it. You understand what I'm saying? You're supposed to take advantage of all those platforms that they've given you to keep building. You know what I'm saying? Instead of crashing out, bro. Leave the past in the past, bro. That's it. That's behind you. Move forward in life, bro. Look forward. Get some stamps in your passport. Enjoy life. You know what I'm saying? Take care of your family. Stop talking shit about people, bro. You know what I'm saying? That'll go a long way, bro. Real recognize real. So start acting like you real. You say you real. Start acting like you real. You know what I'm saying? We don't talk about people behind their back. You know what I'm saying? If you got a conflict with somebody, address it. That's it. That's all. That's something positive for you.
Where do you draw the line with street dudes creating content to change their life? Because I just saw an interview with Glasses Malone from the West Coast talking about how he doesn't fault anyone for this, but they need to be accountable for their actions, though. So, what kind of things do you feel is appropriate to talk about, not appropriate?
I mean, let me tell you something. Anything that can incriminate somebody else or incriminate yourself, you shouldn't be talking about. You shouldn't be talking about certain cases and certain things from the past that don't concern you. You know what I'm saying? Definitely, people do need to be held accountable for what they say, because nowadays people are mad reckless with the things they say and the things they talk about. Is like, yo, bro, like it's just like we go back to WAP. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, what he did, he's got to be held accountable as an artist for, you know, for talking where he's not supposed to be talking. There's certain things you talk about, there's certain things you don't talk about. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter what platform you got. You know what I'm saying? It's like these old gangsters that retired and write these tell-all books and start telling stories about, you know, people that got, whatever popped or whatever the hell. There's certain things that should be, left alone. You know what I mean? Like if it's just, again, it goes back to the whole thing. You know what I'm saying? They need to get held accountable. People shouldn't be talking about certain things online.
I think it's worse when you're doing a live stream, because sometimes people just feel so comfortable and then they just say whatever, like what you would normally say in the company of like maybe just a few of your friends. And then it just comes out and you're not like fully cognizant that you let that out,
A lot of these dudes, bro, like I said, they just want to get shock value, and they start talking crazy to try to get the, I guess, the views or whatever it is, bro. I don't know, the accolades, whatever they do, and they just start talking things they shouldn't talk about, bro. You know what I mean? They indict themselves. They talk about certain things. They put certain things on thing. Bro, like, listen, bro, at the end of the day, bro, if you're going to do stupid things and you're going to talk about stupid things, you're going to get stupid prizes. You know what I'm saying? Play stupid games, you get stupid prizes.
So one of the things I saw Glasses Malone say, though, was kind of like, it's better for somebody to like be maybe sharing information about their trauma, the stuff that they've witnessed, experienced, not saying like to snitch or do all those type of things, but like to share what they've, seen, than to go hit a lick and stuff like that, because they can make money online by doing content.
Let's keep it real. That's what rap is. Rap was telling the story of our environment. That's really how rap started, was rapping about things you saw in the hood, in the everyday life of somebody. You know, people took it somewhere else and made up different things. But once you start name dropping, I saw this dude do this, or I seen this, and you kind of dry snitching, you know what I'm saying? So there's certain things that, like I said, there's a place and time for everything. But I think nowadays dudes just don't have any filter, bro. They so desperate to get these clicks, like they addicted to the fame. You know what I'm saying? Like they're addicted to the fame, bro. Like you know, they don't think about the consequences of their actions. How many of these individuals we already seen get indicted? Look at all these young rappers. Lights out, lights out. Every other few months, there's another dude. Boom, lights out. Another dude, lights out. And they had promising careers. You know what I'm saying? A lot of dudes had promising careers and were going, you know what I'm saying, in places that, you know, Little Dirk, you know what I mean, Pooh Shiesty, what's this little dude from the Bronx that was wilding out? Damn, I forget his name. Hocus be dealing with him. I can't remember his name right now. Little young guy that got caught on camera doing all that crazy shit. They caught him because of his jeans and all that stupid shit.
I don't
I can't
remember.
The little dude that
It
got
just
like
kind of
30
blends
years.
together after a while.
Yeah, but it's like that's what I'm saying. Like these dudes are on the top of the game, radio spins all over the place. They just get so comfortable thinking that they're not gonna get caught, bro. Like at the end of the day, there has to be some type of consequences for your actions, bro. And that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes you need to take a minute, sit back, and think before you react. Because even when I caught my case, it was 30 seconds. It's like this, boom, cost me all that time. It was a reaction like this, boom. So sometimes you got to sit back and put the ego to the side and put the different thoughts to the side and really think about what you're going to do and how it's going to hurt. So, you know, sometimes it takes a bigger man to walk away from a situation than it is to react. I know a lot of people won't agree with that because they got their pride thing, but when you got a lot to lose, bro, and it's over a little car accident or it's over a little dumb, somebody stepped on your sneakers, sometimes you got to be the bigger man and be like, you know what, don't worry about it, bro. Have a nice day, bro. Keep it pushing. Because if you fly his top, if you ain't got the lawyer money for it, you going down. And even with the lawyer money, because some of these kids got millions of dollars and they still go down.
The time, though, the time that is wasted, the energy, you know what I mean? Like where like that could have been
That's what I'm
going
trying to
towards your
say.
career.
That's what I'm trying to say, bro. Like a lot of this shit, like, bro, like I said, I do agree with it. Not for nothing. I like Glasses Malone. He's always been, you know, from the perception, he's always been a solid dude, always had good music. You know what I mean? And I believe in it. I think he's 100% right with that. Everybody should be held accountable for their words, bro. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying?
It's kind of tricky because like what he was saying too is like he sees these guys on stream, right? And he wants them to win. He wants them to be able to make a life for themselves outside of committing crimes and being in the hood, right? But it's like there has to still be a line there, right? But I just think that the problem is that this type of content has become so normalized. Like we would have never seen this in the 90s. Like this was like or be
Hell
very
no, bro.
rare, you know
But
what I
in the
mean?
90s, listen, first of all, in the 90s, it was a point that real people in the streets didn't even allow their pictures to be taken, not
Right.
alone get on a video. You know what I'm saying? So it's a whole different society right now. It's a whole different society. And that's again, we're going in a whole thing of like the situation with Mula. Everybody in the background was rooting for the dude and what he did. He did the Wemby. He fumbled and we won. What's up, bro? Let's go to something else.
All right, man. All right, next, the 38 Spesh stuff. Do you think the battle has gone too far now?
It's gonna get disrespectful. And I hate to see it because everybody from New York, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, New York, bro. I don't care where they from. And if you from New York, you from New York. Problem is a lot of dudes don't give my upstate brothers their credit. You know what I'm saying? And bro, they got a lot of spitters up there, bro. They got a lot of spitters up there. People be underestimating them. Look at Little Ito from
Shit,
Rochester.
they don't even give Long Island credit, and you guys are closer.
But that's been like that. But
Right?
what I'm saying, nah. But listen, at the end of the day, though, you can't. It's getting to a point that now it's getting it could lead other places. You understand what I'm saying? Like it could lead other places.
Right.
That shit could lead into the jail systems. That shit could lead into a whole different realm of things. You know what I'm saying? Because it's already going below the belt. A lot of things are going below the belt. You know what I'm saying? Again, like I said, people don't give upstate New York their credit. You know what I'm saying? People forget that Griselda's from up there. People forget a lot of the dudes that are real spitters is from up there because that's what they got. They haven't kept up with the stuff. New York has evolved. The city of New York has evolved in a different way, but they still got the old '90s battle. They own that spitter shit up there. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna be good for hip hop. It's cool. I like the back and forths. I like clicking on you know what I'm saying? I definitely enjoy the back and forths, but it's getting a little bit under the belt. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, yo, brother, you know, this shit could lead into other places that, you know, it could get ugly, bro. It could get real ugly. You know what I'm saying?
Do you agree that upstate New York helped bring back New York hip hop though?
Do I agree? I definitely think they did have a part in it. Benny the Butcher and them, hell fucking yeah. Hell fucking yeah. Hell fucking yeah.
Because
They
they brought
definitely
back that
they
sound, right? That
they brought back the sound. They brought back the whole wave that New York is known for. New York is known for. They're going back to the original roots. That's what I said. They got the '90s feeling to a lot of the stuff they do early 2000s, late '90s. They got that whole, you know what I'm saying, that spitter, like, you know, content that you definitely plug in and listen to. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, like I said, I like the back and forth. I definitely love the back and forth as far as hip hop. But once you start going below the belt and certain things,
all right.
mm,
What did you think of 38 Spesh's diss track though? Do you really feel like he gave his all, or was he taking it easy on purpose?
um, honestly, I think he kind of rushed it. He probably went in and probably rushed it. I've heard better from him before. um,
Right.
but I don't know. I don't know if he took it easy on purpose. I don't think he took it easy on purpose. I mean, you're not gonna come out with all your weapons at one time either. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what his strategy is with it, but I definitely heard um better put together songs from him and better put together verses from him. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think the lyrics were bad. Like the bars wasn't bad, and like the
It's the
disses wasn't
delivery.
bad. Yeah, it was the
It's the
BPM.
delivery.
I felt like
Definitely.
it kind of needed to speed up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But the diss wasn't even really aimed at Jada. It was more Jim Jones. I mean, like he took some shots at Fat Joe too, but like, you know, it was mainly Jim that caught it.
I mean, listen, bro. He aimed at you know, when you throw a couple of shots, some people get hit more times than the others. You know what I mean?
But the original issue was with Jada, right? Like, but it's just kind of weird because like this whole situation, it
I mean, but
started off
listen,
seeming like
Jada's a beast, bro. Nobody can take
right.
nothing away from Jada. And the way you got to look at it, sometimes when these dudes got a certain platforms, even though, you know, 38 Spesh been around for a minute, he been doing his thing. These guys are on a different, you know, they got machines. You know what I'm saying? They got a different machine behind them, so they're not gonna sit there and just take time out of the day to just keep going back and forth. You know, dude on that level, he threw a line, he threw two lines at you. That's it. He ain't going back. That's it. I already gave you what you want to kick rocks. You know, looking at it like that. But you know, he's in a position that, you know, he's independent, so he gonna keep doing what he's doing and keep creating his numbers and keep getting his algorithm going. You know what I'm saying? This is all about algorithm now. The music industry is totally different. It's like back in the days with spins on the radio and things like that. Now it's all about algorithms. So he's trying to stay relevant in the algorithm. So he's gonna keep going and going and going and going, and that's what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Did did Spesh go too far dissing Jim Jones' woman, Chrissy? He brought
I
up
think he
Chrissy
went. I think.
being
Go ahead.
he brought up Chrissy being Alpo's ex. and an interview where he said she don't suck dick, and he said you ain't a boss because you ain't giving out jobs, you can't even go home and get a blow job, and Jim's story faker than the one Fat Joe robbed.
So I said some things are below the belt.
Right.
Some things are below the belt, my man. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes, I don't know, bro. Hip hop's changed, bro. I'm gonna keep it real. That would have been in the '90s. Whoever did a show and did that, some people would have been at that show. You know what I mean? Man, I just think a lot of it should stay a little bit classier. You know what I'm saying? And just keep people's families out of it. You know what I'm saying? I don't agree with that. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna.
But did you see though? Like, okay, the music video was funny though, right? We can agree on that. The music video was kind of funny.
Yeah, it was funny.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
still below the belt, though. It's still below the belt.
Right. But how did you feel about Dave East taking him off the album? You know what I mean? And Joe Budden banning him from the podcast because they said that, he dissed Jim Jones' woman, and it was too much.
But would you expect anything different from Dave East? That's his crew. He with them every single day, bro.
Right.
That if he wouldn't have took him off the let's keep it real. If he wouldn't have took him off the record, everybody would have looked at him sideways. You understand what I'm saying? Because you're not showing loyalty right there. Let's be real. You know what I'm saying? If he would have been a neutral party in the whole situation, that let's say he just knows them or whatever, and he did the record, maybe he would have left them on. But these are individuals that he deals with every day. He gets money with them every day. He's with them. He's on their platform. It just would have looked shady. If he wouldn't have took him off, it would look crazy, bro. Let's be honest, bro. You know what I mean? You can't really fault the man for that. It would have been a sign of disloyalty. You know what I'm saying, to the people that he deals with. You know what I mean?
The Joe Budden podcast, right? 38 Spesh had spoke to Parks that's on there, and he said the reason why Chrissy got brought into it was because Jim Jones' man dissed Spesh dead brother, and Jim Jones reposted it. Do you think that's fair, or does no women, no kids still apply even if you disrespect my dead family?
That's what I'm telling you. Is once it starts going below the belt, it starts getting nasty, bro. And then once you take the gloves off, it's gloves off, bro. It's you know what I mean? I guess you got to have a family member that passed away to really feel that pain, because that actually brings a lot of different, traumas to you, you know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, Jim Jones' wife is still, she's still with us and stuff like that. So it's an ugly one, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's an ugly one. That's what I said, bro. Once the lines start getting crossed, bro, there's no turning back. It's just gonna get uglier and uglier. You know what I'm saying?
Right. All right. Did you see Spesh said he got 500,000 on himself in a 3-round battle against Jadakiss on stage? He said they could have G-Rap, Big Daddy Kane, and Rakim be the judges. Who do you think takes the battle in a 3-round stage battle?
I mean, how does this benefit Jada though?
Well, Jadakiss in the past has said, if somebody offered me 500,000 to 700,000 for a battle, I'd do it.
Okay. I mean, we've seen what Jada's done with Dipset and what Jada did with All on the Verses. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I think when the pressure comes, man, that's I still gotta have Kiss, man. I'm gonna keep it real, bro. I'm original YO, so I still gotta stay with the home team at the end of the day. You know what I mean?
Right. Jadakiss' son even turned down the battle on Twitter, saying that was years ago when he said 500,000. You got to have at least $1 million plus now.
Okay, see
and
what
I
I'm
think
saying?
that's kind of fair with especially the Joe and Jada podcast, with how big, pause he's gotten now from a fame perspective, and after the verses and everything. You got to think inflation too, man. 500,000 ain't what it used to be,
I mean, listen, at the end of the day, a half a man is a half a man, bro. I mean, listen, I I ain't
That's
got
what
it, but
38 Spesh said. That's what 38 Spesh said. But to
you know,
somebody that do got it, like Jada, right?
no, but you also gotta understand something else. Like Jadakiss got a legacy. You understand what I'm saying? That's why I said, what's in it for
Right.
Jada? Half a
That's true.
man, bro. He probably making a half a man every couple of whatever weeks or whatever on the podcast. We don't even know what he's generating over there. You understand what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, not to look in nobody's pockets, but that might be beneath him at this point. You know what I'm saying? Because he's like, yo, what does he have to gain? It's like when you had certain boxers fight certain boxers. It's like, yo, why this dude's gonna fuck up his legacy fighting this dude for a bag? Some dudes ain't worth, it ain't. 38 got the hunger right now. You know what I'm saying? Not taking away now from Jada, but Jada's a legend, bro. You know what I'm saying? Jada's a legend. You know what I'm saying? He's got a legacy, and when the pressure cooker comes on, you already know how he does at the end of the day. We've seen it in verses against big artists. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, bro. I don't know. At the end of the day, I think that bag gonna have to get a little heavier for Jada to even contemplate it. You know what I'm saying?
Right. We can't just be like, oh, do it for the culture, do it for the culture,
Nah,
whatever. It
nah,
has to be
nah.
more
It's
in
bigger
it
than
for
that.
him.
It's bigger than that. It's bigger than that, bro.
Right.
You talking about that's like right now, everybody got Jada's top 5 alive. You know what I'm saying? So, when you start battling certain individuals, you know what I'm saying, that have trajectories, bro. He's got almost 30 years in the game, bro. Legacy. You're not gonna risk that to go battle. You're not gonna do that, bro. Not unless it's worth it for the culture. Nah, nah. It's gotta be. It's gotta make sense. It's gotta make sense.
And even though Spesh's name has only like really gotten much more notoriety in recent years, he has been doing it for a long time, has been putting out a lot of projects for a long time. But I feel like
Definitely.
energy wise, he got like that spirit and that hunger of like a young artist still. You know what I mean?
Because they got what he wants, and they got a machine. First of all, they got a machine. He doesn't have a machine, so everything he does is from the muscle. You know what I'm saying? So he definitely got the hunger. He definitely got the hunger. You know what I mean? That's why it's dangerous when somebody when an animal's hungry. It doesn't matter how many times you fed him in the past. If you haven't fed him recently, you don't know if that dog gonna bite you. You know what I'm saying? So it's dangerous, bro. It's dangerous, bro. So why take a risk like that? Why take a risk and this guy comes out of left field and hits him with a 1-2, digs up some skeletons in his closet, he does the shit from 9 miles on him. You know what I'm saying? Why would you take a chance like that unless it was beneficial for you in the big scape? You know what I'm saying?
Right, right. All right. What did you think of Fat Joe warning Spesh saying, if you diss me, you will run into the militia? And then Spesh was backstage at Summer Jam kind of mocking him. Does Joe have a point to feel that way?
Well, again, we go back to the same thing, bro. Sometimes you have fans, groupies, you have crash outs that might not even be part of the crew. That's the reality of what it is, bro. You know what I'm saying? I really don't. A lot of people look at Joe as whatever, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, he has a lot of following. He's another one that's been here for a long time. He's got a big crew. People follow him. People look up to him. Some people want to get in his camp. So certain people will do certain things to get in that camp to get into good graces. And he might not even have nothing to do with it. So, you know, we go back into the whole people riding, wearing helmets and riding saddles. You know what I'm saying? So certain individuals that want to get in there and want to get in good with certain people, they're going to jump into beefs. They're going to jump into situations that have nothing to do with them just to be able to get close to individuals. So, but as far as the Summer Jam thing, I mean, I've been to Summer Jam a few times and been behind it. That's one of the safest places in the planet. There's so much New Jersey police there that bro, you can't even you can't even smoke a cigarette in the corner and get away with it. You know what I'm saying? So nothing was gonna happen then.
Historically, I think what you're saying is right too, because like in the past, a lot of times it's the rappers' crews that aren't rappers that cause a lot of issues between rappers too. Like, like they're like, oh, I
The
don't like the way
entourages,
that his crew
100%.
member was looking at me, or yeah. Yeah, it's like, oh, did you hear what he said? That was disrespectful. You should let me get at him. And it's like, nah, this is just a battle. It's just rap. Like, but sometimes people start getting in your ear, even social media, right? Where like, if you guys might have agreed, like, yo, we just gonna go back and forth, but next thing you know, you start reading the comments, oh, he totally disrespected you. And it's just like starts amping it up and people start feeling insecure, catching feelings, and it starts to go somewhere else.
Well, that's like that whole thing where you ever seen that fight with Ray J and that other dude where the other dude washed him and he was like, that wasn't part of the script. That wasn't part of the script. But Ray J caught him with one and the dude got so mad and just washed him. Yeah, of course, bro, because that's why I'm telling you, when somebody throws something below the belt, sometimes emotions run deep. That's why, you got to be careful what you say, how you conduct yourself, bro. But I don't know, bro. Like that, you know what? The only difference is that it kind of like it gives like leeway because I know for a fact none of them's gonna go up to Rochester or Buffalo or anywhere up there and get on one of them stages and diss one of them from up there because you're gonna have people react. And it might be vice versa too. They come down to the city and they get on one of them stages. You understand what I'm saying? This is where the things start going left. You know what I mean? Because a lot of the times it ain't the artist. 99.9% it ain't the artist, it's the entourage. Because, bro, they not gonna make me look stupid. They're not gonna make me look like that. Not me. I'm running around with him, not me. And that's what happens. Other people take that beef into their hands and be like, yo, bro, I handled that. Don't worry about it. And that's what that could happen on both sides of it. I just hope it don't go to that, you know what I'm saying? Because we all New York at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? And they gotta start showing some hometown unity, you know what I'm saying?
Right. And I think that you're right too. Like probably like the entourage is probably even hearing it from their mans that's not even on tour with them or not rocking with the artist that's like calling from the hood, being like, "Yo, you gonna handle that? Like, are you like, what's going on? Like, how with this beef and stuff?" And it starts to they're getting it from everywhere.
But another thing that people don't take into account. That's why I said this could go a lot of different ways. A lot of people from the city, people don't understand. When we go to prison, we're in their backyard. We're in their backyard. They live a few miles away from the jails. They're right there by the jails. They're all around the jails. That's their hometown. So people don't take that into consideration. Like they are New York. Just because they're not from the city, it doesn't mean they dealing with the same thing we dealing with every day. So you know what I'm saying? Like I don't just because they 5 miles away, 5 hours away, that shit is still New York, bro. It's still New York. You know what I mean? So all that, they from over here, they from over there, bro. We 20 minutes away from the city. Long Island's right there. We touch with them. Upstate New York touches with the Bronx. You understand what I'm saying? So it's still New York, bro. A lot of people forget that, bro. Because technically, Jada not from the boroughs. He from Westchester. He from Yonkers. That's already going towards upstate. That's already going towards upstate. It's considered upstate. You understand what I'm saying? Westchester County is right there. You know what I'm saying? So,
right.
I don't know, bro. Like I said, I think it should just tone it down a little bit and keep it classy. Keep the balls going. Keep the momentum going. Keep that algorithm going. Because, bro, you got a lot of dope artists that I never heard of before or never paid attention to that's really getting busy doing their thing. You know what I'm saying?
Right. But what you're saying though is true, is that it is getting more serious because they putting out snitching allegations against Spesh, which got disproved. And then, the old rumors of Fat Joe allegedly snitching on his ex-business partner, Scott Spina, from the shoe store. They start putting that out and it starts to get messy. It starts to get a little too much,
Because everybody wants to get into the algorithm. They try to get you canceled. That's the new thing nowadays, is try to throw dirt on your name to try to cancel you, to get you out the algorithm so people stop fucking with you, start following you. This is a popularity contest, bro. Like I said, the rap game and everything is totally different now. This internet thing is crazy because I've seen people overnight blow up and then gone.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Podcasts that are on fire. Tune in every day. All of a sudden, they say the wrong word, gone. So, you got to be real careful with this algorithm stuff and all this stuff that's going on, man. Let's just keep it clean. Let's keep it clean.
Did Spesh have a point about the song with DJ Khaled, Fat Joe, and Jada Aroma saying he don't want to hear no over 50-year-olds talking about the smell of drugs, and Jadakiss dissing him on that song, a real drug dealer? He said they should be talking about the drugs that's keeping them alive, the prescriptions.
Come on, man. We can't put an age on hip hop. Let's stop that. That right there, you know, you got legends that's still qualified enough to get in that booth and spit some. You know what I mean? You know, he could have went, but that's been Jada. Jada's always spit, but that's been Jada's since the beginning. Jada's been spitting that. You know, the cocaine, white cocaine. He's always used references when it comes to certain drugs and certain things in his thing. So it's I don't know, bro. I don't know. When it comes to that, I mean, I like Jada's verse. I definitely like his verse, but you know they're gonna pick it apart. You know what I'm saying? 50-year-old. What does that mean? I'm 50. What does that mean? I gotta have geriatrics or something to stay alive or some shit. Oh, fuck, I'm in a wheelchair or something. I'm not still here. I didn't know there was a fucking.
I think that was more of a shot at Joe that he was saying because Joe got diabetes or something, you know, and whatever. But I think what Joe should do is really fuck up everybody's mind and send a diss track back. I think that would actually be crazy if he did that.
Nah.
You don't think so?
Nah. I don't think Joe has the vocabulary to go at 38 Special, bro. I don't think so. I'm just
right.
Bro, he's a fucking veteran battle rapper, bro. You talking about a dude that, bro, you can't compare it. That's like Jada battling Joe. It makes no sense, bro. You know, Joe makes his records. He does what he does. He picks the right beat, gets the right anthem going, and he gets that summer record. That's been Joe's career. He's always picked that right beat, get the right hook, get the right thing. He gets out of here. He's not a battle rapper, bro. That dude is not a battle rapper. Now, you would have been talking about Pun or Link. All right, maybe it's a different story. But, you know what I'm saying? Even Armageddon was a beast. Armageddon was a beast. There's certain dudes that you could put.
Let's not forget that Joe did diss 50.
Yeah, but you're talking about Joe. Joe is not a. Yeah, but that was in the height of the 2000s when there was still different individuals in his camp. There was different things going on, bro. We talking about he's not known to be a battle rapper, bro. He's not a battle rapper, bro. He's not.
Right. He's not.
You can't put him into that.
But
like,
that's what
you take the whole
everybody's
TS.
mind, though.
Right, but will it fuck up people's mind, especially if it hit? Of course. But if you take him out of the TS squad, you take him out of TS, almost everybody from Remy to Prospect to even Triple Six, all of them were ready to battle. They all had you're talking about different. It is different, bro. He puts together the song. He sits there. Other individuals fly off the top. It's different. Put him to battle Remy. He's
definitely more of like an A&R. He has great beat selection, those different things behind the scenes.
Right. Sure. He's about making that thing. He's not gonna do a record. He might throw a little line, a little shot or something, but
that's what I mean. At least like do a line here or there. I think that would be crazy.
You never know. But like I said, I mean, at the end of the day, I think there's other individuals that were in the camp that would have gave a more of a battle. You can't compare the two, bro. It's like oil and vinegar, boy. You comparing two different type of things. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It just doesn't make sense. Like you're not gonna put a certain individual to battle Jada. Jada is a dude that once you put him and he sits there and he gets into his mind frame and his thing, bro, he's a dangerous individual, bro. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to the rap game, bro. A lot of people underrate him, but let's keep it real. Can you name one whack Jada verse? Can you name just one whack? I'm talking about some trash doodle.
No.
You can't.
Mm-mm.
You can't. He's always been consistent. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying is you comparing different caliber of people. You know what I'm saying? Like Remy was a battle rapper. You know what I'm saying? There's certain people you might be able to just, all right, fuck it, Joe Naga, I'm gonna take this one for the team and I'm a blah blah blah. You know what I'm saying? Which I think that shit would have been fire because that'll blow her whole algorithm up. Plus she got that little the battle. But she got a
Chrome 23.
yeah, she's still doing that, right?
Nah, they shut it down.
Oh, but that would have been fucking perfect for the whole platform that she's doing, because it's all about battling.
Right.
That shit would have been perfect for her. You know what I'm saying? But you know, I don't see it. I don't see it happening. With Joe, I don't see it happening. I definitely don't see it happening.
Who are your top 5 Latino rappers of all time?
My top 5 of all time Latino rappers. Big Pun. Now for none, I used to be into the West Coast thing with MC Frost. Remember MC Frost? I liked MC
Right.
Frost back then. Beat Nuts, definitely Beat Nuts. Who else?
Be Real.
Yeah, I don't know, bro. Cause Be Real, yeah, legendary, yes. My top 5. I don't know about top 5 for me personally, but do I think that he was legendary? Definitely. I definitely throw in, like I said, I'll throw in Cuban. Not for nothing, people gotta give Daddy Yankee his flowers too, because he is a Latino rapper. You understand what I'm saying? And it is hip hop, so I'm gonna slide that one in there. So whoever don't like it, too bad.
What about Chino XL? Joel Ortiz? There's a lot of people.
Bro, I don't got enough. I don't got enough picks, bro. You trying to give me 5, bro? You gave me 5, just 5, bro. I gave you my 5. You want to give me 10? It's different. Then I could throw in Chino XL. Chino XL battled Tupac. You understand what I'm saying? You had Immortal Technique. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's different people I could throw in there, but you giving me just 5. I'm trying to get
wait.
5.
How many did you give? You gave Pun as number 1.
I gave you Pun. Pun was number 1. I gave you the Beat Nuts. I gave you MC Frost. I gave you Cuban Link.
Frost?
I like Frost, bro. I used to like Frost, bro, back in the days. He was one of the first.
But he's top 5 though?
At the time, bro? You talking about he was one of the first Latin pioneer rappers, bro. You know what I'm saying? For me, I'm not saying that he's bigger than Cypress Hill. Cypress Hill made a whole different impact. But I remember early 90, 89, listening to Kid Frost with this is for my raza. You know what I'm saying? It was certain things that, you know what I'm saying? You talk about mine. Why you judging my top 5? I like my Latino rappers.
Well, I'm trying to understand your metrics, though. I'm trying to understand your metrics, okay?
Because you're trying to go into
some pushback.
I can't turn around and just give you lyrically. Lyrically is a whole different thing. You talking about top 5, like for me, impact wise, in what Latino.
Okay, so you're going off impact wise.
Impact wise, what it was as far as you know what I'm saying at certain times in hip hop. You know what I'm saying. A lot of people don't give Geraldo his credit, because Geraldo was big as fuck too. You understand what I'm saying? But nowadays you start going into the thing. Why I put Daddy Yankee there? Because Daddy Yankee made a fucking mark for the movement when he crossed over into the hip hop market from Spanish rap. You know what I'm saying? When he did the song with Nas and them and everything, that was a big move. Pun, obviously, Pun to me is the number 1 top. I don't think nobody's gonna top Pun as far as the biggest, to me, Latin rapper of all time. Why I said Frost? Because it had an impact in me listening to like Chicano rap and different raps, because it opened my whole mind frame into the Latin world of what West Coast rap was. You understand what I'm saying? Be Real came later on, because Be Real was more that Latin killer music shit. That's the shit you get smoked out and go smoke somebody type shit. So it was a whole different, you know what I'm saying? He would definitely be on my top 10. Definitely be on the top 10. But I'm talking about impact-wise to what showed me different things in different times of hip-hop. You know what I'm saying? Those are the ones that I look at like that.
All right, so is this in order or just you're just naming 5?
Pun is 1 and everybody else is in different. It doesn't have to be in whichever order. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay, so then you got Pun, Beat Nuts, MC Frost, Cuban, and Daddy Yankee, right?
Yeah.
So let's talk about so So no Chino XL on your top 5. No
Again, we're
Immortal
going back.
Technique.
Again, we're going back to you.
Wait. No, you know what
5.
I'm really upset about? I'm really upset that you don't have Baby Bash on there.
Baby Bash. He wasn't really my type of flow type thing, bro. That wasn't
I know,
really.
I'm messing with you though.
That wasn't my type of. You know what I'm saying? Like when I tell you, like I said, the reason I said Kid Frost was because he is the one that brought that whole Chicano rap wave to me, and that's when I started
Right.
listening to a lot of like gangster Chicano rap at one point. You know what I'm saying? Like what's this dude? Lighter Shade of Brown. You had a lot of different artists that was coming out of the West Coast with the Chicano rap, and it was Frost that kind of broke the barrier that, bro, we started listening to that out here because there wasn't really too many Latinos in the game being represented. Like you talking about now, I'm talking about when I was growing up. Growing up, it was like even before.
Can we talk about some? Can we just talk about some honorable mentions though? Right? Okay. Honorable mentions.
No, you definitely got to put Chino XL in there because Chino XL was one of the only Latin rappers to ever go at Tupac and certain individuals. You got Immortal Technique, you know what I'm saying, who's a beast. You know what I'm saying? Joel Ortiz is definitely a beast. You got a lot of different rappers.
Thurston Howell?
Would I put him on the top 10? Before I put him, I would put Hurricane G.
Hurricane G, okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because Hurricane also did a lot of people didn't even know she was Puerto Rican.
But we not gonna count like the Fabulous, the Jim Jones.
No. She spits no. She spits in Spanish. She got a whole album with Thurston Howell. She spits Spanish. She's not one of those, oh, I'm part Puerto Rican. No, she's Puerto Rican from Loíza.
Right. But what I'm saying though is that like Fabulous, Jim Jones, Davies, they don't count because they don't always like acknowledge, or Lloyd Banks, they don't always acknowledge their like Latino side, right?
Yeah, heritage. No, we're not getting into that. We're talking about people that acknowledge it. If you see her on a record with what Hurricane did with Puffy back in the days, she came out in the Puerto Rican Day Parade, spitting in Spanish and English. You know what I'm saying? In the height of hip hop. So you know what I'm saying? Rest in peace, my sister. You know what I mean? So there's certain people you got to get their flowers to. You said Latin rappers. I'll tell you my Latin rappers. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Who's top 5 right now in this new era? I'm talking like the Albie Owls and the King Aces and stuff like that.
That's a whole different wave. I think they still, Albie Owl, you got to listen to his last LP, bro. That LP is, bro, his album, not LP, his album. It is fire, bro. Fire. It puts you, it brought me back to a lot of different situations in my head. Like he got some real fire. Ace is on fire too. Like we talking right now, definitely Abiel, Ace, who else?
Trust Mula.
Interview over.
Okay, all right. Who else we got though?
I mean, if we're gonna play that game, bro, you got Baby Pump from Mash. He's another bro. Beast. King Pump, beast. He's a beast. There's a lot of different people, bro.
Chris Rivers?
I think Chris Rivers has a lot of potential. I just think sometimes he gets lost sometimes in his in what he's, for me. You know what I'm saying? Because he starts talking about different things that I'm just not on, you know what I mean? But as far as rhyming and putting patterns together,
from the technical aspect,
he's an animal. He's an animal. He's just,
right.
Me, he gets a little bit, when he starts talking about dragons and lunars, and it just, I get lost when certain things like that. You know what I'm saying? Like his metaphors and certain things like that, I get a little bit lost. But I definitely think he's got a lot of potential. I think he just needs the right machine behind him, and he'll be also a great artist.
You don't listen to like the West Coast like Latinos or anything?
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. Lately, I haven't even, like I told you, I'll be listening to the old school stuff. I don't really be focused on too much unless it's somebody that I know or something like that. Then I start listening to their music, or if a song catches me. But I don't really be catching up too much on this internet thing. You know what I'm saying? I be listening more sometimes to the Spanish, like the Young Chimis and all them, like different things like that. But when it comes to the Latino rap, but that's more what I take Latino rap now is like people that spit actually in Spanish. You know, when you talk about Latin rappers, it's like they're competing with regular rappers. I put them in the same category with rappers. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
it's a different wave. You know what I'm saying? You got to put them in the I don't separate those because not like before. Like now when you say Latin rapper, I look at it like, oh, we talking about spitting in Spanish. Spitting in Spanish. You know what I mean? Latino rappers are now have already paved their way that they're already getting their niches into the regular hip hop world. You know what I'm saying? So it's a different thing.
What do you think of the whole narrative that 50 Cent took better care of his artists than, say, Jay-Z and Rick Ross? Because this has caused that whole beef between Memphis Bleek and Tony Yayo and Uncle Murda. Do you feel it's their responsibility to take care of their people? Are they obligated?
I mean, I feel like when I was doing the music and I definitely do, bro. I definitely think that you are obligated to take care of your crew because they there from the muscle. They there from the beginning. So unless they burn a bridge or they do something stupid and get kicked out of the situation, I definitely think that you definitely should take care of your crew and make sure they're in a better position because they helped you get into that position. So I definitely agree with they do have a responsibility to the people that put them there. That's my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Do you owe anything to another man? I don't think you owe anything, but as far as being grateful and being appreciative for the people that help you put you in a certain thing, because in reality, certain artists wouldn't be in the place they are without having those people to help them in the background because a lot of people don't see what a lot of people in the background be doing for them. You know what I'm saying? Between producers, between entourage, between whatever y'all want to call them, hype man, whatever. But I respect Yayo on them because at the end of the day, he plays his position, and it's in every team you got to, in every army, in every basketball game, and everything you got to learn how to play your position. And if you play your position, that's what makes the team because everybody plays their part and they get ahead. Is when everybody thinks they're bigger than who they are, is what fucks the whole game up. So, you got to give people like Yayo. Yayo took a fall back from his career and he does what he does with 50. Does he have the same momentum? Nah, but I like Yayo when Yayo was spitting. Not for nothing. I liked his album. His album was fire. I think the problem with Yayo was that he was in prison when the album when they was pushing the album, and then 50 just had such a run after that he never could play catch up with him. You know what I'm saying? So he ended up just falling back, paying his position, and doing what he got to do, being a loyal soldier, which I respect. You know what I'm saying?
But he's actually capitalized off the opportunities of having his name associated with 50, right? It's not like 50 is
It's
giving him
not
a podcast.
capitalizing.
Him
It's
and
his
Uncle
team.
Murda,
That's his team.
right?
But
Him and
a lot
Uncle
of
Murda went and made the podcast themselves, though.
but hold on a second. Let's be real. Yayo's the one that created that whole situation for himself. Because in a lot of the
That's what
videos
I'm
and stuff,
saying.
50 used to shit on him for doing that, and Murder and them niggas used to shit on him. But he knew the wave, and he kept keeping himself relevant, keeping his numbers relevant. And then when the time was ready, he opened up his own podcast. And now they got a great. I love their show. They show not for nothing. It's a funny show. They do their thing, and I definitely like their platform. Don't be surprised that I'm using you for your numbers too. Don't be surprised I'm using you for your numbers too, and I come out with my own platform.
Yeah, I'm waiting, man. I'm waiting. I'm telling
I
you though,
know.
but like that's what I'm saying is that like it's not like Yayo is just somebody that's just sitting around waiting for 50
Nah,
to
but
do everything for him. He capitalizing off the opportunity of being affiliated too, though. You know what I'm saying?
of
He
course,
does
but
this
why wouldn't you?
dispensary thing. He does like a lot of other things.
I'm saying, listen, you gotta if you part of a crew, I'm saying you can't just say G Unit and just think of 50. G Unit was the unit. So why wouldn't he be able to capitalize off that name? He should be entitled to capitalize because they built the team. That's like when we was running with 326. It was all of us that were supposed to do what we had to do, and it was different parts of the crew that did certain things and did it. And whenever, whichever part of the crew would have went that way, would have took the rest of the crew with them. And that's just the way it would have went down. You know what I'm saying? So you're supposed to capitalize off the work and the sweat and the everything you put in for the name and the brand. Of course, I don't think that he sits there and waits for a handout. And that's what I'm saying. He plays his position. 50 needed a hype man. Instead of him going outside and hiring somebody else, what he did, he put his man on. He's like, all right, you don't want to be, you're not going to be the front man no more and do your own music thing. All right, boom, be the hype man. Murda still does his own thing. Murda got his own deal. Murda's fire too. You know what I'm saying? But they play their position. They play their position. A lot of other dudes don't know how to play their position. They want to be bigger than the program.
Right. But like the narrative always is.
I mean, but I know the argument you're getting at, is the Memphis Bleek Yayo thing. Because Memphis Bleek is like, yo, I'm a grown man. I don't need another man to take care of me. I'm going to get my own. You understand what I'm saying? So I get both things, but when you're in a unit and you together, you're supposed to build everything from the foundation up. That's how you build it. One man can't just build an empire. It takes many different people to put that team together to get where you got to go. So, you know, everybody just got to learn how to play the position. But I definitely respect 50 because he took care of the people he was supposed to. The ones that were loyal to him, it's who he took care of. And that's how it's supposed to be. Who do you look out for? People that are loyal to you, right?
I also think the optics, though, is like Jay-Z just seems so like untouchable. Like you can't get to him.
He's on another level. Bro, it's like,
yeah,
it's
you
like
can't get to him.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like Jay got to a point that he's almost like hip hop royalty or like a president. So before you could get to him, you got to go through the Secret Service. You got to go through all type of different channels just to be able to. 50's more grounded. You know what I'm saying? So it's two different. You can't really compare the two. You understand what I'm saying? It's two different movements, two different times, and he's like on some Jay-Z's more on some like rock star, you know, untouchable hip hop royalty, you know, whatever you want to call it. You know what I'm saying? And 50 still that bro, he still makes some fire ass songs for all his series. He's still doing music. He's still doing all his things. Jay's just in the background now investing money. He's investing money. He's like, all right, here.
Yeah, personality-wise too, though, Jay-Z has always been not as like social as like 50. 50's always with the people.
He's been distant from it, but you know, it's different. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. But he's concentrating on other things. Like even that whole thing that we was talking about with the Rock Nation thing. Look at the crazy shit. I'm in Spain right now, right? You know what's plastered everywhere, all over the place? The first NFL game to come out here. Atlanta Hawks against somebody else. I forgot who it is. But they're going to be playing an NFL game in Madrid. So I told you that the reason they brought Bad Bunny there was to do what? What did I tell you from the beginning? Was to blow it up across the world. Watch what I tell you. They're going to have an international league soon. Watch. Then the Super Bowl is going to be played over there, and they're going to try to start different leagues in different countries to blow that shit into something that is going to be big. I tell you, there's a bigger plan for that picture. I saw it and I didn't believe it. I just saw that. I started seeing the posters of NFL game coming to Madrid. First time ever. I'm like, oh shit, this shit is crazy. But that's what they doing right now. So he doing big things, bro. He's on a different. We can't even put Jay in that conversation no more.
Right. Should Rick Ross have taken better care of Gunplay, though?
Oh, man, I feel like they did my man dirty, bro. I like Gunplay. Gunplay was one of those dudes that he says what he thinks. If he was, he don't hide what he is, whatever. Bro, the dude was in Colombia sniffing cocaine, though. He don't give a fuck. I like Gunplay. He definitely should have took care of him because that was his #1 soldier. He definitely should have took care of him. He definitely should have put him in a position to win.
But arguing the other side, like how like not everybody can go or somebody don't know how to not be street at certain times and they might mess up opportunities for you. Because remember, Gunplay was the one that assaulted Vlad. He told the story where he like jumped up real high with the bottle and smacked Vlad on the head when they was beating him up and stuff like that. So like, and that cost
but he kept
Ross
fucking with him after that.
$300,000.
No, but I get that. But But this is the thing, though. Listen, that was his main man. All right, his main man. He shit before, like when the label dropped him, he didn't even tell him the label dropped him. They kept stringing him along. Why not keep it real with the dude and sit him down and be like, listen, bro, this rap thing ain't working out. I'm gonna put you on. You're gonna be my hype man, or even you gonna be my general manager to all my wing spots. But I'm gonna put you in a position that you could continue to generate revenue for your family. That's what a real dude does. It doesn't have to necessarily be in rap. Doesn't have to be. If he's a loose cannon and he can't control him and it's gonna cost him something, be like, bro, I gotta take you out the spotlight. I gotta take you out of that, bro. But I still love you, bro. We did a lot. I'm gonna put you in a position that you could, you're gonna do this. So I'm gonna put you to do that. I'm gonna have you run my car shows or whatever it is. But he should have put him in a position to win, bro. Not in a position like kicked him to the curb after he used them up. And then because he was really the muscle out there. You know what I'm saying? He's the one that was bringing the muscle. So, it kind of was like a disappointment to see that, you see certain soldiers that give their all to crews and then they get kicked to the side when certain things don't move in the right direction. You know what I'm saying? I like Gunplay.
I completely agree with you too, because like Ross is intelligent, you can say, right? Like from a
Oh, he's a
boss perspective, so
businessman.
he should have
He's a
been able,
businessman.
yeah, he
He's a
should have been
businessman.
able to analyze Gunplay's strengths and see where he could have, put him to succeed. Though, like, okay, rapping
Exactly.
isn't your forte as far as like the way that people are reacting to you. So there's no reason why
Well,
Gunplay should have been
I'm
on
gonna
the
put you as
streets,
my driver. I'm gonna
right?
give you a driver's job. I'm gonna give you, let's start a limousine company. Let's start whatever, bro. He could have put him in a different position to win, bro. He's too violent or he's too uncontrollable. So you put him somewhere that he's not a liability. You put him in the office. All right, you're gonna sit back, you're gonna pick some beats. I'm gonna have you doing he could have had him doing a million different things, bro. But to like just
Yeah.
kick him to the rocks like that, bro. You got a sick kid and everything, bro. Like, it was kind of like sad to see somebody that was in a like, one of his loyal soldiers just get kicked to the curb like that. It's kind of sad, bro. You know what I mean?
Remember, he got beat up by G Unit for Ross too. Like he
They
got
took they
jumped
took
by
his
G
chain. They
Unit
took
for
his chain
Ross.
and everything. They took his chain and everything, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because he was a soldier. Because he was a soldier. He was a soldier. He was out there. He was repping the brand. He was repping that brand. He took that brand for real. He one of those dudes that would have put himself in front line and took a bullet for the brand. That's what I'm saying. These are legal. These are soldiers that he would have even probably took a quarter cakes for the crew. You know what I'm saying? So these are the soldiers that people don't see in the entourages. A lot of people got entourages, even though now the entourages situation, people are moving a little bit smarter and moving this. But I'm talking about in the 90s when the entourages were necessary. He was one of the main dudes that was making it move. You know what I'm saying? Was making it shake. So, you know what I'm saying? Just like Yayo. Yayo's one of them dudes that was making it shake. There's certain people. Bleek had his whole, there's certain people, Philly, it was Petey Crack, it was Beanie Siegel. They was the ones from State Property that was making the shit, Skino and them. You know what I'm saying? So, you got to look at the entourages and crews and what they put in for the team and what they put in for the brand. And a lot of them got kicked to the curb. You know what I'm saying? Like they gave their blood and sweat and they gave it everything. And then, they ain't get that appreciation back. But yeah, as a man, you like, I don't need nothing from another man. But sometimes when you build something together, it's no longer about man pride, about that thing. It's about a team. You know what I'm saying? And you can't get somewhere by yourself, bro. When you building a house, you can't do it all by yourself. You're gonna need some type of help, especially when you're building an empire like these guys have built. You just can't do it by yourself. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna need somebody. They're gonna need either the money man behind the scenes, the DJ that plays the record, they need somebody. Even they need the driver that drives the tour bus across the country without crashing, without getting them caught up, without getting pulled over, without speeding so they don't get trapped off. Bro, it's all a team effort, bro. And people forget that. That's the problem, that people forget that when you're building something, every part of the machine is needed. And every part of the machine, like a motor, you can't run a motor, take out one cog or take out one piston and one cylinder and be like, all right, you're going to function like normally. No, you need the whole machine together for the motor to go into the car to run correctly. You know what I'm saying?
Because then, like, there was no reason why you should have been seeing Gunplay out committing crimes. You know what I'm saying? Like, because he
but
needed the money so bad. Like,
because he was fucked up and he didn't know what else to do, bro. Imagine this, bro. You in the streets, you getting money, you doing whatever he was doing in the past. You leave that lifestyle to change your life. You in the rap game now. You getting a couple of dollars, and now all of a sudden those dollars don't come back. You can't just go work in fucking Dunkin' Donuts or FedEx or work as a garbage
Right.
man or work here because everybody, oh shit, look at this, you know, like world star, this or that. You know what I'm saying? So what he knew best, he had to go back to the streets because that's what he knew. That's all he knew. Let's be real. You know, maybe he should do an interview and be like, yo, how many jobs have you? And that's the problem that a lot of career criminals and a lot of people that go to jail, they never had an opportunity to have a job to be able to change their lives. That's the difference. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people don't see it. You know what I mean? They need that opportunity.
But that's what I'm saying, though, is that Ross should have never allowed him to be in that position where he had to go back to the streets. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no way.
You know, some people are pieces of shit, bro. You can't make everybody do the right thing. You know what I'm saying? You can lead a horse to water. You can't force the horse to drink. You know what I'm saying? So maybe Ross was like, yo, I'll give him plenty of chances. You were supposed to figure it out. You know, you don't know the inner outs of what really goes on. It's just sad to see from the outside view, but we really don't know what went on inside the room, my nigga. Because if you got sued multiple times and you over here running around and you doing all type of retarded stuff and you a liability, now you become a liability, bro. I'm not gonna go to jail because you out here doing stupid shit while and out. So we really don't know what the reasons are that he cut him off to that extent that he stopped even him from giving him an opportunity. So, you know what I mean?
But at that point, do you fault Gunplay for now putting him on blast when he goes on, you know, podcasts and talking about their situation? Like, what is it wrong of Gunplay to do that?
But again, you got that with a lot of different crews, my dude. Like, you got dudes that put a lot of blood and sweat for other crews that got kicked to the side, and then they come out and they start shitting on them. But it's like, you know, I don't know, bro. It's like, you know, like at the end of the day, bro, like I don't blame Gunplay because he feels some type of way. Especially if he was the muscle and he was the one behind the scenes putting in pain and pushing that brand to that level. You know what I'm saying? Remember, at the end of the day, Ross was the artist. You know what I'm saying? So Gunplay was the one behind the street. He was the streets. You know what I mean? So of course he feels some type of way. I mean, would I handle it, you know, out publicly like that? I don't know. I'm not in that position. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like I said, it's sad to say, but you know, like I said, I like Gunplay. I fuck with his interviews. I think he's a real dude. The dude speaks his mind. He's not one of these funny dudes that he shows one face and then hides not. He's like, this is what I did. And that's one thing I respect about the dude. You know what I mean?
For sure, man. So, like, you know, when Panda Chop blow up, do I owe it to Cano to come back and be like, look, my brother, you was here to give me all these interviews. Here's some racks, you know what I mean? Just to show my appreciation.
Nah, I don't need no bread, bro. You know, I know if I needed help doing something, I know you would come back and help me and guide me in that way, because that's what friends do, you know what I mean?
Right. No doubt, man. All right, I know you're on vacation. This is the shortest interview we've ever done. When you get back to America, we got to run it back again because I got like so many questions to ask you. But man, is there anything else you want to say to the people before we go ahead and wrap it up?
Can you say something positive for the youth?
Me?
Nah. I got something positive for the youth. You know what I'm saying? Just be yourself, bro, and stay loyal to your team. You get further in life.